Hello friends, uh, welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss most popular novel by Ernest Hemingway, that is A Farewell to Arms. So before diving into the topic, let's know about our novelist. Ernest Hemingway जणे American novelist, short story writer थिले. He was an American novelist, short story writer, and journalist. Widely, he is regarded as one of the most influential writers of 20th century, known for his concise, direct prose and minimalist style. He developed the famous iceberg theory, where deeper meanings are softly implied rather than explicitly stated. ताମାନେ कौन iceberg theory तो मैंने जानी थी वो आइसबर्ग हूँ कौन बरफ पहाड़ उपरकू जी देखा जाए बास्तव में ताठू अधिक भाग समुद्र गर्भरे थाए सेटा कहते आइसबर्ग थ्योरी ताने जी आमको देखा जाए स्टोरी रे तार मीनिंग डीपली अच्छी सेटा पाठक पढ़ले ही जापर दैट इज आइसबर्ग थ्योरी. So Hemingway's experience as an ambulance driver in World War One देखो से चाहूले पिला बेलू आर्मी रे जीवा पई बट तांकर फिजिकल प्रोब्लेम थिला लाइक आईसाइट आई प्रोब्लेम थिला जो कि तांको आर्मी रे भर्ती करा जाय करि पार नथिले किंतु तांकर सेवा करिवार मनोवृत्ति सब बेले रही आसीची जो कि सी कोन करथिले ना रेड क्रॉस थ्रू रे एम्बुलेंस ड्राइवर काम करथिले. तो युद्ध रे जो सब सोल्जर मानकर डेथ हो जाउथिला बा इंजर्ड हो जाउथिला बा मिलिटरी वेपन्स को क्यारी करथिले. सो ସେଇଟା ହିଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବୋଧହୁଏ ଏସବୁ ଭଳିଆ ଲେଖା ଲେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରେରଣା ଦେଇଛି ବିକଜ ଆମ କାହାଣୀର ମେନ୍ ଚରିତ୍ର ପ୍ରୋଟାଗନିଷ୍ଟ ଯିଏ ତାର ଲାଇଫର ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଷ୍ଟୋରି କ'ଣ ଦେଖିଲେ ହିଁ ଜାଣିପାରିବା. ସୋ profoundly that shaped his writing, particularly A Farewell to Arms 1929ରେ ପବ୍ଲିଶ ହେଇଥିଲା, which draws from his own wartime injuries and love affair with a nurse. ତାଙ୍କର ସତରେ ବି ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରାଇଭର ଆମ୍ବୁଲାନ୍ସ ଡ୍ରାଇଭର କାମ କରୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଫେୟାର ଥିଲା ଗୋଟେ ନର୍ସ ସହିତ. His works often explore themes of war, love, loss and masculinity and existential struggle, reflecting his adventurous yet turbulent life. ତେଣୁ ତାଙ୍କର turbulent life को ବୋଧେ ସେ ଦେଖେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ଏଇ ନୋଭେଲରେ ବିକଜ ଏଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା ଇଟ୍ସ ୱାନ୍ ଟାଇପ୍ ଅଫ୍ ସେମି ଅଟୋବାୟୋଗ୍ରାଫିକାଲ ନୋଭେଲ ବିକଜ ତାଙ୍କ ବାସ୍ତବ ଜୀବନର କାହାଣୀ କୋଉଠି ନା କୋଉଠି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପାଇବା ଏଇ ନୋଭେଲରେ ଏ ଫେରୋଲ ଟୁ ଆର୍ମସରେ. Some of his most famous novels include The Sun Also Rises. It was his debut novel, which was published in 1926. For whom the bell tolls, The Old Man and the Sea. এটা ବି ବହୁତ popular. समय ମିଳିଲେ ନିହାତି ପଢିବ. The last of which he won the Pulitzer Prize. The Old Man and Sea ପାଇଁ ସେ କ'ଣ ପାଇଥିଲେ? Pulitzer Prize ପାଇଥିଲେ and also ସେ Nobel Prize ମଧ୍ୟ ପାଇଥିଲେ. In 1954, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his mastery of modern storytelling. Despite his success, Hemingway struggled with depression and illness, ultimately taking his own life in 1961. However, his literary legacy endures, continuing to inspire readers and writers worldwide. चलो देखिए फेरल टू आर्म्स कौन अच्छी. It's one of Ernest Hemingway's most celebrated novels, published in 1929. It's semi-autobiographical novel based on Hemingway's experience as an ambulance driver in World War One. The novel combines realistic war depiction with a deeply emotional love story, making it powerful exploration of war, love, fate, and disillusionment. चलो देखिले ही तुम मैंने जानीपर. तो दि नोवेल इज सेट ड्यूरिंग वर्ल्ड वार वन 1914 ରୁ 1918 फास्ट वर्ल्ड वार आमर होता. सो इट्स पर्टिकुलरली फोकसिंग ऑन द इटालियन फ्रंट. से इटालियन फ्रंटर गोटे आम्बुलांस ड्राइवर काम करुले व्हेयर इटाली फाउट अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रिया हंगेरी. तो आम जब देखा स्टार्टिंग रु इटाली ऑस्ट्रिया हंगेरी एंड जर्मान एमाने सेंट्रल पावर थिले कि 1915 मसीह इटाली जॉइन हम यूके फ्रांस और रशिया सहित. बुझे कि चलो देखा देखिले ही जापर. हेमिंगवे कौन कनेक्शन रही. हेमिंगवे हिमसेल्फ volunteered for the Red Cross as an ambulance driver in Italy. 1918 he was severely wounded by a mortar shell. सी सतरे जब देख 1918 से वार रे गोटे बड़ एक्सीडेंट होता जमती कि आम प्रोटागनिस्ट गोटे एक्सीडेंट हो फ्रेडरिक हेनरी आगू जाना. सो व्हाइल रिकवरिंग इन ए हॉस्पिटल मिलन गोटे हॉस्पिटल जन गोटे नर्स सहित लव हो आम प्रोटागनिस्ट भी सेम स्टोरी लव विथ आग्निस वोन कुरुस्के. यहाँ हूँ रियल लाइफ स्टोरी कहार हेमिंगवेंकर. so who later rejected him, जो nurse की तांको परवर्ती समय रे तांको love को प्रत्याख्यान करथिबो. So this personal heartbreak and his war experience deeply influenced A Farewell to Arms. ତେଣୁ ଏଇ କାହାଣୀଟାକୁ ସେ ନେଇକି ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି କୋଉଠି A Farewell to Arms ରେ. ଦେଖିବା କ'ଣ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍. କ'ଣ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍? ଦେଖ 1914 ବା ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ବା ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ଅଫ୍ 1914 ମଧ୍ୟ ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ. Those young men or those young women who were disillusioned by the war and its aftermath. ତାମାନେ କ'ଣ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଟାଇମ୍ ପିରିୟଡ଼ରେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ୟୁଥ୍ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ରେ ଥିଲେ, ମ୍ୟାନ୍ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ ବା ଓମ୍ୟାନ୍ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ କୁହାଯାଏ. ଆମର ଏଫ୍ ସ୍କଟ୍ ଫିଟ୍ଜରଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ, ଟି.ଏସ୍. ଇଲିୟଟ୍ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ, ଏଜ୍ରା ପାଉଣ୍ଡ ହୁଅନ୍ତୁ, ଏମାନେ ସବୁ ଥିଲେ ଏଇ ଯେତେବେଳେ କି ଯୁଦ୍ଧର ଡିସିଲ୍ୟୁଜନମେଣ୍ଟ ଉପରକୁ, ଯେତେବେଳେ କି ଲାଇଫ୍ରେ ସର୍ଟନିଟି ନଥାଏ, ଏମ୍ଲେସନେସ୍, କେତେବେଳେ କ'ଣ ଘଟିବ ଜଣାପଡ଼ୁନଥିଲା. ମନେକର ଆଜି ସେମାନେ ଏଠି ଘରେ ଖେଳୁଛନ୍ତି ବୁଲୁଛନ୍ତି, କାଲି ତାଙ୍କୁ ହୁଏତ ଯୁଦ୍ଧକୁ ଯିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିପାରେ. ଏମିତି ହିଁ ଘଟୁଥିଲା. ମାନେ ତୁମେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଧାରଣ ପିଲା, ବଟ୍ ଇଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ସିଓର, ହୁଏତ କାଲି ତୁମକୁ ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ଏନି ଟ୍ରେନିଂ, ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ଏନି ମିଲିଟାରୀ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ତୁମକୁ ଯୁଦ୍ଧକୁ ଯିବାକୁ ପଡ଼େ. ତୁମକୁ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ପିନ୍ଧେଇଦେବେ, ଗନ୍ ଧରିଦେବେ, ତୁମକୁ ଯୁଦ୍ଧକୁ ଯିବାକୁ ପଡ଼େ. ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନୋନ୍ ଆଜ୍ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍. ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା ମା ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ବଞ୍ଚିଗଲେ, ଏମଲେସ୍ ଲାଇଫ୍ ତାଙ୍କର, ତାଙ୍କ ଜୀବନରେ ଡିସିଲ୍ୟୁଜନମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ତ ସେମାନେ ବହୁତ ଫ୍ଲକ୍ଚୁଏଟିଂ ଲାଇଫ୍ ସେମାନଙ୍କର. ସେଇ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ରେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲେ ବା ସେଇ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ରେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଟିକେ ବଡ଼ ହେଇ ଆସୁଥିଲେ ବା ୟୁଥ୍ ପିରିୟଡ଼ରେ ଥିଲେ, ତାଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍. ଦୋଜ୍ ହୁ ସର୍ଭାଇଭ୍ଡ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ୱାର୍ ୱାନ୍, ଯେଉଁମାନେ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ୱାର୍ ୱାନ୍ ଟାକୁ ଦେଖିଛନ୍ତି, ଆଖିରୁ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଭୋଗିଛନ୍ତି, ସେଇମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ର ଲୋକ. ସୋ ହୁ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରଗଲ୍ ଟୁ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ମିନିଂ ଇନ୍ ଏ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ହ୍ୟାଡ୍ ବିନ୍ ସାଟର୍ଡ ବାଇ ଭାয়োଲେନ୍ସ. So writing style କେମିତି, ଯୋଉଟାକୁ ଏବେ ତମକୁ କହିଲି, it's simple, direct, powerful, often described as iceberg theory. ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଫିଚର କ'ଣ? Minimalist prose, short sentence, precise word, no unnecessary detail, understated emotion, deep feelings are conveyed indirectly through action rather than exposition. ଏତେ ଦିଖାवा ନାହିଁ, ଏତେ ଗୌରଚନ୍ଦ୍ରିକା ଦିଆ ହେଇକି ଲେଖା ହେଇନି, but there a deep meaning is hidden and you have to find. Dialogue driven conversation feel natural and reveal characters depth. Example from the novel, देखो ଗୋଟେ example, ଗୋଟେ line ନିଆ ହେଇଛି, the world breaks everyone and afterward many are strong at the broken places, but those that will not break it kills. The line ଛାଡ଼, the line reflects Hemingway's view of fate and human resilience. ଛାଡ଼, ମୁଖ୍ୟ theme ହେଉଛି futility of war. Futility ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ବ୍ୟର୍ଥତା, valueless, କାହାର? warର. ତାମାନେ କ'ଣ? ଯୁଦ୍ଧକୁ ସେମାନେ ଆମେ ଗର୍ବରେ କହୁ, ଆମର ଦେଶାତ୍ମବୋଧକର ପରିଚୟତା, ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଦେଶଭକ୍ତି, ଦେଶ ପ୍ରେମକୁ ସୂଚାଏ. ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଶହୀଦ ହେଇଯାଆନ୍ତି ଜଣେ ଯବାନ, ଆମେ ଏଇଆ କହୁ, ଗର୍ବରେ ଛାତି ଚଉଡ଼ା ହେଇଯାଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତ୍ରିରଙ୍ଗାରେ ଘୋଡ଼େଇ ହେଇକି ଗୋଟେ ସୋଲଜର, ଗୋଟେ ସୈନିକର ମର ଶରୀର ଆସେ. କିନ୍ତୁ ସତରେ କ'ଣ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ହେଉଛି ସବୁ ସମାଧାନର ଶେଷ ପନ୍ଥା? ନା, ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କେବେ ବି ଗ୍ଲୋରିଫାଏ କରିନଥାଏ. ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ସବୁବେଳେ ବିଭୀଷିକା ଦେଖେ, ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ସବୁବେଳେ ରକ୍ତପାତ ଖୋଜେ, ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ଶାନ୍ତି ନଥାଏ. ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କରାନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ଭୋଗନ୍ତିନି, ଭୋଗନ୍ତି ସାଧାରଣ ନିରୀହ ଜନତା, ସାଧାରଣ ନିରୀହ ସୈନିକ. ସେଇ କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି, instead of glorifying the war, it portrays as chaotic, it's senseless, it's destructive. So the Italian retreat at Capreto, এটা ଦେଖିବା Capreto retreatରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆନାଲାଇଜ୍ କରିବା ନୋଭେଲଟା. Is a vivid example of how war leads to confusion, fear and meaningless death. এটা ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ଟର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ନୋଭେଲର, ସେ ଯେଉଁ ରିଟ୍ରିଟ୍ଟା. ଦେଖିବା କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି. So love as an escape from reality. Frederick and Catherine ହେଉଛି ସେ nurse. Relationship provides them with a temporary happiness in the face of war's horror. However, their love is not immune to the forces of fate and it ends in tragedy. Fate and death. Throughout the novel, death is inevitable no matter how much Frederick and Catherine try to build a life together. ତେଣୁ ମୃତ୍ୟୁଟା କେତେବେଳେ ଆସିବ କେହି କହିପାରିବେନି. ତ ତୁମେ ଯେତେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କର ତମ ଜୀବନଟାକୁ ସୁନ୍ଦର କରିବା ପାଇଁ, they also try to build a happy life, to build a love life, but fate ultimately destroys their dreams. Rain, which appears frequently, symbolizes death and misfortune. Rain ର ଗୋଟେ interesting କଥା ଅଛି, ମୁଁ କହିବି. Disillusionment and lost generation. Like many young men of his time, Frederick loses faith in traditional ideals like honor and patriotism. ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ଲଷ୍ଟ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ର ୟୁଥ୍ ମାନଙ୍କ ଭଳିଆ ଫ୍ରେଡରିକ୍, ଆମର ପ୍ରୋଟାଗୋନିଷ୍ଟ ଯିଏ, ସିଏ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯୁଦ୍ଧଟାକୁ ଭାବିନି ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ ଗ୍ଲୋରିଫାଇଂ, ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ ଅନରେବଲ୍. ସୋ ହି ଅଲ୍ଟିମେଟଲି ରିଜେକ୍ଟସ୍ ୱାର୍. ସେ ତେଣୁ ଅଲ୍ଟିମେଟଲି ୱାର୍କୁ ରିଜେକ୍ଟ କରିଛି ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆପ୍ରିସିଏଟ୍ ଲଭ୍. and it's meaningless sacrifice. ତା ମତରେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ sacrifice soldier ମାନେ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି that is meaningless. The Hemingway code hero Frederick Henry embodies the Hemingway code hero, a character who faces suffering with dignity. माने ता suffering टा से काहाକୁ देखै देनी protagonist जी doesn't complain or show excessive emotion. ता emotion को मध्य से देखै देनी काहाକୁ कष्ट पाइछि struggle पाइछि but काहाକୁ show करेनी accept fate and doesn't rely on religion for comfort. से आरंभରୁ केबे भी religion उपरे भरोसा करू नथिबो ईश्वर को मानु नथिबो गोटे नास्तिक लोक थिबो चला देखिबा समरी रे डिटेली जानि परिबो कोन हेछि. The novel is narrated by Frederick Henry, an American serving as an ambulance driver in the Italian army during World War I. The story unfolds 5 books, total 5टा भागेर विभक्त, depicting his experience in war and his love affair with Catherine Barkley and the eventual tragedy that shapes his fate. First, book 1, Introduction to War and Love. Frederick Henry is stationed in Italy. Italy Frederick Henry तांका station पड़िछि, where he assists the Italian army in transporting wounded soldier. तो क्षताक्त मृताहत soldier मानकु से transport करूथिला. The war is in full swing, पूरा high peak रे युद्ध चलथिला. But Frederick remains largely detached. किंतु सीए युद्धरु detach हे जाउथिला. ताकू ए सबु ଭଲ ଲାଗୁନଥିଲା କିଛି. That's why he's spending most of his time in drinking with his comrade, including his close friend Rinaldi. Rinaldi जे कि बहुत गोटे हस मजाकर लोक थिबो. He is a lively and flirtatious Italian surgeon. Rinaldi introduced Frederick to Catherine Barkley. तेणु से Rinaldi जे कि Catherine को introduce करैथिबो काहा सहित Frederick सहित. So it's Catherine Barkley होची जने नर्स जे कि से इटाली रो सोल्जर मानन को सर्व करे. So Catherine has recently lost her फाइन्स. कैथरीन से गोटे नर्स रा काम करे हॉस्पिटल ले. सी मध्य तार फाइन्स तार बॉयफ्रेंड को हरैछि युद्ध रे. तेणु वर्तमान सी खोजुछि लव, सी चाहूछि ट्रू लव. That's why now she is emotionally vulnerable. At first, Frederick treats his relationship with Catherine as casual flirtation. किंतु starting to Frederick केबे भी ता love को seriously नहीं बहुत casual manner रे flirting करिछि. But Catherine, despite her tragic past, तारो ई जो दुखद अतीत सत्वे, is willing to embrace love again. पुणी थरे ता जीवन रे प्रेम चाहिछि. The relationship deepens. धीरे धीरे तांको relationship deep हे जाइछि. केतेबेले as Frederick finds comfort in her presence. However, before they can develop their bond further, Frederick is sent back to the war front. किंतु बेसी दिन तांको love तिष्टि पागुरु पुणी थरे युद्ध को फेरी जाइछि कि Frederick. गोटे राति रे one night while delivering supplies to soldiers near Austrian front, Frederick is severely wounded by a mortar shell. He is rushed to a hospital in Milan where he is undergo surgery. तेणु गोटे थर एमती एक्सीडेंट होती बहुत जोरे गोटे गाड़ी आसी पिटी दब माने सी वार स्टेशन रे ही तो सी ताकू ट्रांसफर करा जिवो कोठी की मिलन हॉस्पिटल को. सी किंतु जानन नथिबे कि कैथरीन से हॉस्पिटल रे काम करूची. तो कोन हबो लव इन मिलन. While recovering in Milan, Frederick is reunited with Catherine, who has been transferred to the same hospital. Away from the battlefield, their love blossoms. सबुदिन राति रे लुचि लुचिका कैथरीन आसे कहा पाखु देखा करबा पई Frederick को, and they become deeply attached to each other. Catherine moves into Frederick's hospital room at night, breaking hospital rules, and their relationship turns into passionate escape from the war. During this time, Frederick also begins to reflect on futility of war. ताकू भी हृदयबोध होइछि कि बोधवे war ता मो पई valueless. She realizes that war is not about honor or heroism, but war is all about death. It's all about destruction. It's all about suffering and chaos. His disillusionment grows as he interacts with doctors, fellow soldiers, and Catherine. धीरे धीरे कौन होइछि फ्रेडरिक रिकवर करिछि. कैथरीन रिवील्स दैट शी इज प्रेग्नेंट. तापर से जानिबा पाइछि जे कैथरीन तांको पिलार मां हबाकू जाउछि. सो विथ हिज चाइल्ड डिस्पाइट द चैलेंजेस ऑफ वार टाइम द ड्रीम ऑफ ए पीसफुल फ्यूचर. माने युद्धर एतिकी भयावहता सत्ते से माने गोटे सुंदर भविष्यतर स्वप्न देखिछंती. धीरे धीरे फ्रेडरिक रो मध्ये लव आसीछि, ट्रू लव आसीछि कैथरीन प्रति. हाउएवर फ्रेडरिक मस्ट इवेंचुअली रिटर्न टू द बैटलफील्ड. किंतु पुणी थरे कैथरीन को छाड़ी से बैटलफील्ड को आसीछि. तापर कोन हेछि देखिबा. केतेबेले से हताशा हे जाइछि, डिसिल्यूजन हे जाइछि. On the returning to Italian front, Frederick finds that the morale of the soldiers has deteriorated. कौन हैला? The Austrian army, aided by the Germans, launches major offensive, forcing the Italian army to retreat. Retreat माने कौन? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଟାଲିଆନ୍ ଆର୍ମିଙ୍କୁ ବାଧ୍ୟ କରାଯାଇଛି ତାଙ୍କର ୱିପନ୍ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବା ପାଇଁ, ତାମାନେ କ'ଣ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟିଂରୁ ଅଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆ ଜର୍ମାନୀ ଇଟାଲୀ ଏମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ କାମ କରୁଥିଲେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ହଠାତ୍ ଇଟାଲୀ ଜଏନ୍ କରିଦେଲା ଆଲିଏଡ୍ ପାୱାର୍ସକୁ। ତ ତାଙ୍କ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଗଲା କି ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସୋଲଜର ମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଗଲା ତମେ ତମର ହସ୍ତାନ୍ତର କରିଦିଅ ଆର୍ମି ୱିପନ୍ସ। ତ ବହୁତ ସୋଲଜର ମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେଠି ମାରି ଦିଆଗଲା, ପୁରା ଠିଆ କରିଦେଇକି ସର୍ଟ କରାଇ ଦିଆଗଲା। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷ ଦେଖିକି ସିଏ ବି ମାନେ ସିଏ ଅସ୍ଥିର ହୋଇପଡ଼ିଲା। ସିଏ କ'ଣ କଲା ନା ସିଏ ବି ସେଠୁ ଖସି ଆସିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲା, ତାକୁ ହିଁ ଯୁଦ୍ଧଟା ବି ଠିକ୍ ଲାଗିଲାନି। ସେ କି ନାହିଁ ମୋର ମାନେ ଦେଶ ପ୍ରେମର କିଛି ମୂଲ୍ୟ ହିଁ ନାହିଁ, ସୋଲଜରଙ୍କର ମାନେ ଅନେଷ୍ଟିର କିଛି ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ହିଁ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ସିଏ ବାଧ୍ୟ ହୋଇକି ଗୋଟେ ନଈକୁ ଡେଇଁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ତାପରେ କ'ଣ ହେବ ନା ସେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତି ଆସିଥିବ, କ'ଣ କରିବା ଦେଖିବା ତାପରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି। As Frederick and his fellow drivers navigate the retreat, their ambulance gets stuck in muddy roads and they are forced to abandon जोटा कहते abandon their vehicles, तांको बाध्य करागला तांको गाड़ी छाड़ी देबा पई, सब किछ weapons छाड़ी देबा पई। The retreat descends into confusion and violence as the Italian army executes its own officer. तेनु Italian army निज निज ऑफिसर को मारिबक लागिले, suspecting them of treason. So Frederick is mistaken for deserter and nearly executed by Italian military force police. Seeing the chaos and betrayal within his own army, he realizes that war has lost all its meaning. In a moment of desperation, he jumps into a river. से गोटे नई को डेଇଁ पड़िबो to escape execution and manage to survive. कौनसी प्रकारे से सेटू पहरी पहरी बंचिकी पळा आसीबो. At this moment, Frederick makes a life-changing decision. He will desert the army and leave war behind. से कौन कला ना खसिकी पळा आसिला, war को सब दिन ପାଇଁ ଛାଡ଼ି देला. He is no longer driven by patriotism or duty. ताकू लागिलानी कि एई जो कर्तव्य एई जो मिछ देश प्रेमर कोनोसी आवश्यकता अछि. His only desire तार गोटे मात्र इच्छा थिला, गोटे मात्र स्वप्न थिला पुणी थरे मिसिबो काहा सहित कैथरीन सहित तार जीवन आरंभ करिवो. So escape to Switzerland. Frederick travels to Milan, जोटी से जो हॉस्पिटल सेट थिला. Again he finds Catherine. She has been staying in a hotel hiding her pregnancy and is overjoyed to see him. से बहुत खुशी हेगला जेतेबेले देखिला. Together they decided to flee Switzerland. समान समस्त भाबिले हम स्विट्जरलैंड पळेबा, where to start a new life away from the war. Disguising himself, Frederick and Catherine escape by a rowing boat across Lake Maggiore into neutral Switzerland. They reach the safety of Switzerland and convince the authorities that they are simply a couple on vacation. The Swiss officials allow them to stay and they settle in a small town of Montreux where they enjoy a peaceful and simple life. For the first time in the novel, Frederick and Catherine experience true happiness in domestic bliss. First time ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ଖୁସିରେ ବଞ୍ଚିଲେ. They live in a rented cabin in the mountains away from the war and await the birth of their child. ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ପାହାଡ଼ ଉପରେ ଛୋଟ କୁଡ଼ିଆଟେ କରିକି ରହିଲେ, ଅପେକ୍ଷା କଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ପିଲା କେମିତି ଆସିବ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ. However, even in this idyllic setting, there is an underlying fear. Catherine worries about baby's birth and Frederick can't fully shake the trauma of his past. तापरे कौन है ट्राजिक एंडिंग टा देखिबा. As Catherine due date approaches, जेतेबेले Catherine रो expected delivery date approach होउची, they move to Lausanne to be closer to a hospital. Hospital पाखा पाखी शिफ्ट ही गले. Catherine goes into labor. Catherine कौन है labor room को जाइची, but complication arise, किंतु धीरे धीरे complication देखा जाइची. She suffers for hours in agony and despite the doctor's effort, the baby is still born. जो बेबीटा जन्म होइची से बेबीटा भी कौन गोटे डेड बेबी जन्म होइची, माने ता पिलाटाक मध्ये बंची पारलानी. The loss of their child is devastating, but worse still, तथापि आहुरी सबुठ दुख कथा होची पिलाटा तो मरी गला. से जो कैथरीन रो कंडीशन धीरे धीरे डिटोरेट होबा को लागला, धीरे धीरे खराब होबा को लागला. So she begins to hemorrhaging. Hemorrhaging means uncontrolled bleeding. तार bleeding बंद हेलानी. So eventually slips into unconsciousness. Frederick, helpless, watches as the only person he truly loved slowly dies. तेणु फ्रेडरिक ता आखि आगे देखुची सबुठु अधिक भल पाउथिबा लोकटा धीरे धीरे मरुची. In her final moments, Catherine tells Frederick not to be afraid, but he is powerless to save her. किंतु ता पाखरे ଶକ୍ତି ଶୂନ୍ୟ ହେଇପାରିଛି କ୍ୟାଥରିନ୍କୁ ବଞ୍ଚେଇବାରେ। After Catherine's death, Frederick is left completely alone and broken. The nurses tell him he should leave, but he refuses to let go Catherine's body, hoping some kind of miracle will happen. But eventually, realizing that there is nothing left, he walks out into the rain, symbolizing his ultimate despair and isolation. ଗୋଟେ ବଢିଆ କଥାଟେ କହିବି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ମୋମେଣ୍ଟରେ ବହୁତ ଜୋର ବର୍ଷା ହେଉଛି ସେ ରାତିରେ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇଏ ଫେରି ଆସୁଛି ହସ୍ପିଟାଲରୁ ଚାଲି ଚାଲି ସେଇ ବର୍ଷାକୁ, ସେ ମନେ ପକେଇଛି ଗୋଟେ ଘଟଣା। ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ରାତିରେ ଏମିତି ବର୍ଷା ହେଉଥିବ, ଯେତେବେଳେ କ୍ୟାଥରିନ୍ କହିଥିବ ଆଇ ଆମ୍ ଆଫ୍ରେଡ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦି ରେନ୍ ବିକଜ ସମଟାଇମ୍ସ ଆଇ ସି ମି ଡେଡ୍ ଇନ୍ ଇଟ୍। ଏଭଳିଆ କଥା କହିଥିବ କି ମୁଁ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷାକୁ ଭାରି ଡରେ, ମୋତେ ଲାଗେ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷାରେ ହିଁ ମରୁଛି। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେଇଆ ହେଉଛି, ଇଟ୍ସ ରେନିଂ ଆଉଟସାଇଡ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ କ୍ୟାଥରିନ୍ ଡାଇଜ୍। ତେଣୁ ଭାଗ୍ୟ ସତରେ ଭାଗ୍ୟର ବିଡ଼ମ୍ବନା। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବି, ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟିଂରୁ ଫ୍ରେଡରିକ୍ କେବେ ବି ଭଲ ପାଏନି, ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ତାର ଆସ୍ଥା ନଥିବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ମୋମେଣ୍ଟରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କଷ୍ଟ ପାଉଛି ଲେବର ରୁମ୍ରେ କ୍ୟାଥରିନ୍, ସେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଛି, ଅତି କାକୁତି ମିନତି କହିଛି, ଓ ଗଡ୍ ପ୍ଲିଜ୍ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ଲେଟ୍ ହର୍ ଡାଏ, ଆଇ ୱିଲ୍ ଡୁ ଏନିଥିଙ୍ଗ ୟୁ ସେ, ଇଫ୍ ୟୁ ଡୋଣ୍ଟ ଲେଟ୍ ହର୍ ଡାଏ, ଓ ଗଡ୍ you took the baby but don't let her die, that was all right but please don't let her die, please dear god don't let her die। ତାମାନେ ଆପଣାର ମଣିଷଟାକୁ ହରାଇବାର ଯେଉଁ ଦୁଃଖ, ଭାଗ୍ୟ ସହିତ କେମିତି ସେ ସନ୍ଧି କରୁଛି। So the novel ends with no closure, no hope, just this stark reality that life is cruel, that life is indifferent. So the novel title Farewell to Arms has dual meaning. Gote hochi kono, it represents both Frederick's departure from the war and his farewell to Catherine। तामाने फेरवेल टू आर्म्स माने कोन, से तो गोटे कथा होची वार को फेरवेल दोची, एज वेल एज तार लव ऑफ हिज लाइफ कैथरीन को मध्य बाय करूची बा फाइनली गुड बाय जणाउची। सो हेमिंगवे एम्फसाइजेस दैट लव एंड वार आर अनप्रेडिक्टेबल एंड नो अमाउंट of effort can protect people from fate. The ending is particularly powerful because it offers no redemption or solace. Hemingway presents the world where fate is merciless and inescapable. ସେତେବେଳେ ତ ଏଇଆ ହିଁ ଥିଲା, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଦୁର୍ଭାଗ୍ୟ, କେତେବେଳେ କାହା ସହିତ କ'ଣ ଘଟିବ କେହି କହିପାରୁନଥିଲେ। ସୋ ଫ୍ରେଡରିକ୍ସ ଫାଇନାଲ ୱାକ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦି ରେନ୍, ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଲାଷ୍ଟକୁ ରେନ୍କୁ ଚାଲି ଚାଲି ଯାଉଛି, which signifies that he has become completely detached from the hope, from faith and happiness, embodying the classic Hemingway hero who suffers in silence। जोटा कहते कोड हीरो, से हीरो सबुबेले हेमिंगवेଙ୍କ स्टोरीरे से सफर करे in silence, who never expressed his agony, his pain, his suffering। So A Farewell to Arms is not just a war novel, it's profound exploration of love, fate and human resilience against the backdrop of war। Through Frederick Henry's journey, Hemingway paints a stark picture of disillusionment, showing how war strips away illusion of honor, bravery and permanence। The novel's tragic ending reinforces the harsh reality of life, where love, no matter how deep, cannot always triumph over fate। ତେଣୁ ଲଭଟା ଯେତେ ବି ଡିପ୍ ହଉନା କାହିଁକି, ଫେଟ୍ ଉପରେ ତାର ବିଜୟ ହେଇପାରିବନି। So Hemingway's minimalist yet powerful prose, along with his use of symbolism, making the novel a timeless masterpiece, capturing the emotional cost of war and fragility of human happiness। Ultimately, it leaves us a sense of melancholy and reflection, reminding us that life's greatest battles are often fought not on the battlefield but within the human heart। I hope you all understood this novel and enjoyed. If you really enjoyed and liked this video, please do share it with your friends and give your opinion in the comment section। Thank you for watching until end.